Hello folks, and welcome to another Hi-Fi News etc. video, and I hope you're well. I hope the week hasn't been too harsh upon you, and you're looking forward to the weekend. I certainly am. We have some Hi-Fi news for you, of course, 5 actual stories, but plenty more products mentioned within. But before that, trivia. And we're going to stay with the London theme for this particular week, and the question is this, and it's a little bit obscure, so I like to do obscure ones now and again. So the question is this: what's the link between Warren Zevon's Werewolves of London single and the Everly Brothers? What's the link between Warren Zevon's Werewolves of London and the Everly Brothers? To repeat, a slightly obscure question, but if you're into Warren Zevon or even the Everly Brothers, this one is right up your alley. So, no Googling, please. None of that research. This is just a bit of fun, and it'll spoil it if you do. So have a little think, have a muse, and at the end of the video, I will give you the answer. Until then, Hi-Fi News. First up, we have a rather expensive music server from a company called Antipodes, called the Oladra. This one is all the way from the Kapiti coast, I think it's pronounced Kapiti, of New Zealand. Behold, folks, the G4 edition of the Antipodes Oladra music server. Now, as well as a music server for local music storage, the Oladra is also a player streamer without an onboard DAC and a reclocker. The Oladra houses 4 separate customized processing engines. One to run the server app, the second to run the player app, the third that regenerates the output signal, and the last to reclock. Now, most music servers use a single standard computer that relies on a specialist I/O card to improve the digital signal fed to the DAC. The point of all this? Well, it enhances, apparently, the timing precision, and that improves your sound. The new G4 technologies apparently feature double isolation to protect from electronic noise, and as we all know, computers are inherently noisy, and I'm talking about high-frequency noise here. There is regeneration and reclocking of all outputs. That includes RCA, BNC, and optical, AES3, I2S, and the entirely new improved USB output. There are 2 custom-made motherboards plus 64 gigs of RAM that utilize the latest Intel chipsets. Although, having heard the news about the latest Intel chipsets, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The firmware in this box has been tuned in-house. The Oladra can be user configured with up to 24 terabytes of internal storage via 3 SSD slots, and they're accessible on the backplate. Other specs include native DSD 512 in PCM 32-bit 768, and you get 2.5 gigabit Ethernet network connectivity. As with all Antipodes music servers, you can easily select between the likes of Roon, Squeeze, Plex, MPD, HQ Player, UPnP, DLNA, and other popular playback solutions. Available in any colour you like as long as it's black or silver. The UK price is £28,888. Next up, a fairly brief news item about a UK distributor called Apex. It's rather pleased because it's now distributing a company called Fezz, F-E-Z-Z. And what a strange name for a line of hi-fi kit, hey? Fezz. So I suppose the branding worked then, hey, because I'm focusing in on it. This is not a hi-fi company from Morocco, as you might expect, but Poland, of all places. A company that focuses on valve-based amplifiers, mainly, not exclusively, as you can see here. The news aimed here at UK viewers in particular is that Apex in the UK now distributes Fezz. So, if you like the look of these amps, well, it'll be pretty easy for UK residents to go and grab one. And when I say amps, I don't just mean preamps and power amps. I'm also talking about phono amps, but also DACs. So there's quite a lot from this particular company, Fezz. Next up, we have Audio-Technica, who has announced a new stylus for the 3600 cartridge. Called the ATN 3600LE stylus, this particular stylus is aimed at budget models like the Soundburger, the AT-SB727 and the AT-SB2022. Also, if you happen to have a turntable like the LP60 and the X variants of the same, then this new stylus is for you. It features an elliptical stylus, which is aimed at enhancing the sound up from the default conical variant. Now, I've personally done plenty of tests on conical versus elliptical styluses over a range of turntables and from a wide range of price points. And yes, conical tips are very good indeed. They do have their place. They are very useful, but in pure sound quality terms, I much prefer the elliptical choice. It may cost a little bit more, but it's worth it. In this particular case, you're looking at £25 or €29. I'll put a link below if you need to see that. Next up, we have some new hardware from the company. Is it WiiM? I'm never sure how to pronounce the company. WiiM? Anyway, this one is all to do, or this pair of products is all to do with custom installation, folks. So this is a debut product range for the custom install market. First up, we have something called the CI-MOD A80. That combines an ES9018 K2M Sabre reference DAC with a TI TPA 3255 Class D stereo amp, delivering 60 watts per channel at 8 ohms. It supports the latest Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3 technologies. The CI Mod S is a streamer featuring an AKM AK4493 SEQ DAC with high-res support up to 24-bit 192. At launch, supported control platforms include Control 4, RTI, URC, and Josh.ai. The distributors Henley Audio will announce UK pricing and availability before the end of the year. And finally, we have 3 products from Arcam. The ST25 is Arcam's top-of-the-line music streamer, which I think replaces the ST60, adding new digital audio and streaming platforms, a redesigned linear toroidal power supply, and an upgraded user interface, including, in this case, a large high-res 6.5-inch color display. Inside, you will find a ground plane to drain high-frequency noise away from the box, and that covers the entire surface of the box, I believe. Hyperstream 4 DAC topology from ESS, plus Wi-Fi network, app control, support for Apple AirPlay, Google Chromecast, Spotify Connect, Tidal Connect, and Roon. The SA35 and SA45 all-in-one models integrate Arcam's latest streaming platform, which you will also find in the ST25, by the way. And they also combine the 5th generation G-class amplification cores. Both of these all-in-ones include a phono amp, which supports moving magnet and moving coil. They also include HDMI ARC, aptX adaptive Bluetooth, while the SA45 features fully balanced digital and analog audio paths, a redesigned power supply, and it can push out 180 watts into 8 ohms. Oh, and you also get an 8.8-inch high-res display, plus Bluetooth 5.2 connectivity, subwoofer outputs, and DRAC live room correction. The SA35 is not quite as powerful, but powerful enough at 120 watts per channel into 8 ohms. And with that, you get a 6.5-inch high-res display. There are plenty of prices, so I'll put them all on screen right now, and you can check them out at your leisure, especially if you would like to pause. And that's your lot, folks. Thank you very much for staying to the end of this particular video. Before you go, I will give you the answer to this rather strange trivia question. And to run it by you one more time, what's the link between Warren Zevon's Werewolves of London single and the Everly Brothers? The link is that Phil Everly was watching the 1935 horror film Werewolf of London when he got the idea that his friend, Warren Zevon, should write a dance craze song with the same name. Zevon did so, never thinking it would amount to anything more than a joke. However, his friend, Jackson Browne, started playing the song live, and so Warren Zevon was eventually forced to record it himself. Notwithstanding this, he refused to take that track seriously and was even insulted when the record company put it out as a single, and was deeply ambivalent when it became the biggest hit of his career. Appearing on TV's The Larry Sanders Show in 1993, he said, and I quote, "Every show I do, I play Werewolves of London, and it's driving me effing crazy." Rest in peace, Warren Zevon. Anyway, now you know. And that's it, folks. Thank you for staying to the end of this particular video. I'll be back next time with another one of these, and I hope to have your company. Until then, folks, bye-bye for now.